All right, so we're up bright and early. Gonna go for a little hike today. It's, oh my gosh. All right, so getting up bright and early today. It's about 5:40 and I'm on my way to check out the highest mountain on this peninsula, which isn't saying much. It's about 410, I think, meters high, so about 1,300 feet. But it's a beautiful view from the top, and the mountain is known as Kinkozan. Kin being like money, and I don't remember what the second part is. There's actually a region of Japan, a very well-known region called the Kinki region. I remember, like, for the longest time I was like, why do people keep saying kinky everything? It's really weird. But the Osaka area, its old name was the Kinki region. Japan. And I think there's a band called the Kinky Kids, or it's just Kinky Kids. Yeah, that's what it is. Kinky Kids. And it's a household name. It's a family-friendly brand, I assure you. During my study abroad trip in college, I went to China for 2 months and Vietnam for a month. It was a 3-month trip. We stayed, I think it was in a Vietnamese town called Hoi An, if I remember correctly. But we stayed at this hotel called the Phuoc An. Like, it was like PHUOC space AN hotel, because it was near the Phuoc An River. I have no idea how to pronounce Vietnamese, by the way, despite spending collectively in my life about 2 months there. But as soon as we saw it, being dumb college kids, we just immediately started calling it the fucking hotel. So I was like, we're staying back at the fucking hotel. It's next to the fucking river. Those are good times. I haven't matured at all, by the way. That is still just as hilarious to me as it ever was. Man, haven't gotten up this early in a while. It is going to feel great to be on the trail again. Here's my day pack. It is an Eagle Creek Wayfinder 12 liter. I used to work for a travel supply store, and that's when I first got turned on to Eagle Creek. And they're a pretty sweet brand. Also, I have a long sleeve shirt called, the company's called Ex Officio. I haven't bought any of this stuff in a long time. We used to also sell these at the shop I worked at, but they have like insect repellent kind of infused into them. They used to advertise them as like UV protecting, and I'm just like, isn't that called a shirt? Like, I swear to God, this was a whole like selling point that we had for a lot of our clothes, our travel clothes. It was like, oh yeah, they're rated up to like 50 SPF. It's like, so it's a shirt, right? I don't know. No one ever explained this to me adequately. I'm like, have you ever been burned through a shirt? I mean, what are you wearing when you're hiking? Fishnet? But anyways, that's not the reason I like them. They're just nice and comfortable. They dry really quickly, and yeah, they're just kind of nice. But what's in my day pack? Let's see here. So my standard day pack is food, okay? And I'll talk more about that later. But you gotta have some water, okay? That's important. And these days, I have my little portable stove. And of course, to go along with it, some propane, one of these little mini ones. These actually last a lot longer than you might imagine. I've been using this one for months now on different hikes. Not like every day or anything, you know, a couple times a month, but and then little pot and pan set, little coffee cup. I usually bring some face wipes. Those come in handy. And what else? What the fuck else? I always bring some sunscreen. Although, it doesn't look like it's gonna be that sunny today, so we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it these days. Oh, well, what do you know? Beware of wild boar. That's a topic for another video. And it just so happens, I have a series on wild boar. Link up at the top. Look how cute this little turtle is. Look at his little feet. He's so tiny. Wow, I've never seen a turtle like that in the wild. That is so cute. His little eyes are like, oh my God, this is the end of my life. Well, it's your lucky day, actually, my friend. I assume he's a water turtle, so should he just be out here or what? Should I do him a solid, or am I just spelling the end of his life? Let him decide on his own. Oh, there he goes. Up we go. Right in the middle of that scenic take. I just got blasted in the face by a spider web. God, that's the worst. Yama o kaji kara mamoro. Let's protect the mountain from forest fires. Reminds me of good old Smokey the Bear back home. Oh, that reminds me, some of these are hilarious in Japan. I'm gonna bring one up on the screen to show you. But sometimes they use like different mascots to try and encourage people. I mean, this is Japan after all, like what do you expect? But yeah, I've seen some hilarious ones. This one's pretty tame. Haro. It says hello. Well, anyways, we're almost to the top. Well, this part of the hike is not exactly my cup of tea, but it'll be worth it. I promise. All right. Our efforts are about to pay off. I know it doesn't look like much. You're thinking, why are you going up this dilapidated old building? Well, ask my friends, and you shall receive. The farmland looks really cool with all that yellow rice. This is the perfect season. And I just so happen to have made a reservation at this table. So what did I bring, you might be asking? I said I'd get to that. Classic. Cheese curry ramen. Honestly, I don't even like this stuff that much. It's a little too rich, but there's just something about it on a hike. It's great, easy to make too. And believe me when I tell you, it's cheesy as fuck. Next, from a local bakery near my house, some fish roe bread. Oily, spongy, fishy goodness. It's mentaiko in Japanese. If anyone's ever been to Japan, you might be familiar with it. It's actually pretty damn good. Let's get this water boiling. These might seem to you, as they did to me, to be like, you know, the deep end of hiking. And for a casual hiker, not really necessary, but I strongly recommend that you give that some more consideration, because these little stoves are very, very easy to use. They're light, very portable and small. It's a real game changer. You just need one of these little propane things. You can get them at like any, here in Japan, you can get them at like a, kind of like home improvement type center, or why am I forgetting what the name is? Been in Japan too long. Like a hardware store, kind of like a hardware store, gardening type place. Screw it in, put some water in the pot, and it's got a little like self-lighting mechanism. So turn on the gas. And there you go. So a little more about hiking food. So if I'm going for just a day trip, like a day hike somewhere, in Japan you've got all kinds of really cool stuff like this. Instant ramen, really easy. Bit of bread, like I brought some snacks and sweets. Is easy because you have the space for it. If you're going for a multi-night trek, then like space becomes more of a consideration for you, so you might want to get more compact things, and big instant ramen packs might not be the best option for you, although they're not that bad. Beverage-based powder, lemon lime. Basically it's just like Gatorade mix, but I happen to have some left over from some MREs I have back at home, and I'm gonna make this today. Nothing unnatural about that color. Looks like it's just great for my body. My wife hates anything that you're supposed to consume that has a color like this. It's actually it's a pretty Japanese thing I've noticed over the years, but generally Japanese people don't like food to be a certain color. Like if it's an unnatural color, too bright a color, too gimmicky a color, they're put off by it, actually. So I don't know. We Americans, on the other hand, have no qualms about making our food neon colored. Oh, and I almost forgot, coffee packs. Do not leave the house without some coffee. That's essential. And a little bit of hot sauce. Super hot sauce from hell. Habanero. Got these back in the States. Little packs. I'm almost out of them, but they're really good for hikes. All right, this is about ready. Okay, so we're ready to go. This bubbling cauldron. Nothing excessive about that witch's brew. And, as if that wasn't enough, cheese powder. Woohoo! Let's do this. I know a lot of you are probably just confused as hell, like curry and ramen and cheese? I thought those were all separate things. That's just because you haven't been living. Curry and ramen are a match made in heaven. Holy shit. That is gloriously unnecessary. Oh, that's like 3 days sodium intake in one bite. But I'm loving it. Don't get me wrong. I'm having a great time. All right, and now for the mentaiko fish egg bread. This is like a mainstay of any bread shop, or paneyasan as they call them in Japan. It's basically some kind of baguette, and then I don't know if you can see that, but inside they have a bunch of fish eggs. You can see those on the surface. They're really salty. It's called like, oh god, something jack roe. I can't remember the fish. I'll put it up on the screen, but it's a type of fish, and they cook their eggs, and their eggs are really salty, and they're a little spicy as well, with only a hint of fishiness, depending on how old the eggs are. But on the inside, you can see it's basically just a bunch of like oil and fish eggs. And my god, is it delicious. Oh yeah. You just gotta embrace the weird when you're in Japan, you know? The food's no exception. But you do grow, well, at least if you're me, you grow to love a lot of these things. And like, you could say without any irony or sarcasm, like, this is fucking delicious. But other shit, I'm just like, no, okay. I was at the grocery store with my wife the other day, and we passed through a bunch of aisles, and then we passed through like the dog aisle. So they have like dog food in the grocery store, and they had a bunch of those, like, you know, packs of like dried random animal parts that you see in all pet stores for dogs, like, you know, like a desiccated bull's penis, or like pig's ears, or you know, whatever it might be. It's some kind of like dried out animal part. And I turn to my wife and I go, this just looks like a regular food aisle in Japan. And like, I'm not kidding. They have like dried squid and all kinds of like weird dried animal strips. I really couldn't tell the difference. And while we're at it, I mean, I've got leftover cheese curry broth, and then I have mentaiko bread. Why not? Oh yeah. That's just like porn. Okay. I spoke too soon about the sodium intake. I'm gonna have a stroke later tonight. And I keep remembering things. Never leave the house without a moist towelette. Or oshibori, as they're known in Japan. They just give them out like hotcakes at like convenience stores and stuff like that. So I always have a bunch of extras at the house. But dude, my moist towelette game is on point. Well, I would say it was a successful little excursion up here. There's absolutely no one here. I made the right call coming on a Tuesday morning. But yeah, have some fun with it. If you're gonna go out and hike, you might as well bring your kit with you, you know? Just bring what you can carry. It makes the whole experience a lot more fun. Take my word for it. You got a reason to get to the top. You know, I mean, it's not like the view and the exercise aren't enough of a reason on a hike, but you know, you might as well just have a cherry on top, you know? And even if the food's not that high of quality, it always tastes better at the top of a mountain. So have fun with it.